My title was Assistant Circuit Attorney in the Homicide and Violent Crimes Unit.
What do you want to tell us today about your resignation?
So I have resigned from the Circuit Attorney's Office effective immediately. The reason being that at one time it was litigated in the Missouri Supreme Court relative to some of the more rural jurisdictions in Missouri having too many cases in their public defender's office. And once that was litigated, the Missouri Supreme Court made very clear that when you're faced with a situation where the catch-22 is either resignation or committing malpractice, or what would have been a violation of the ethical rules, what's required is resignation. I felt that I needed to leave the Circuit Attorney's Office at this time due to the position that our attorneys have been placed in, due to the impossible circumstances and the fact that we are expected to do far more than one attorney's job. And even if it were just us doing one attorney's job, it would be too much. Because right now, what we're expected to do is to be an attorney, to be an investigator, to be a paralegal, and to be a victim services advocate due to the lack of support and lack of structure in the Circuit Attorney's Office at this time.
And how long have you worked here?
I worked here 2.5 years.
How would you describe the 2.5 years? From the beginning up to now?
From the beginning up till now, a roller coaster. It was a roller coaster. I have wanted to be a violent crimes prosecutor since my sophomore year of high school. And in college at the University of Illinois at Chicago, I would go to the courthouse and I would watch criminal trials. I did that quite a bit.
You're choking back tears.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. This was my dream job. And it's unfortunate that it needed to end this way, but our attorneys should not be put in this position, and the community should not have to be in this kind of position either. And the safety of the community requires that this circuit and this office be led with integrity, and that the attorneys can be effective in their environment.
What are your plans now?
I'm moving back home to Chicago. As for work, I don't know. But I am going to be writing a book about the experience of working here. That's going to be the next project, at least. But
2.5 years here, career-wise, is that total so far? I mean, I know you're just getting started. How long have you been?
Well, just getting started is one way to put it, but 1 year at the Circuit Attorney's Office is like 7 dog years, I would say. So
It's been that rough.
I wouldn't say rough is necessarily it. Even before Kim Gardner took office, the city was known for attorneys getting a lot of experience very quickly and a lot of trial experience at that very quickly. It's always been known to some extent for trial by fire. The disadvantage is that, of course, many of the more experienced prosecutors left early on in the administration. So it's not necessarily a rough thing. Last year, I had quite a few notable trial verdicts. I put away Prince Sean McLean for 3 consecutive life sentences plus 45. He had killed 3 women. I won a co-defendant murder. So it was great last year. I was in trial a lot, and I was winning a lot of these trials and securing safety of the community, as I had always wished to do. But that is taxing. You can't just be in trial every other week endlessly.
You know, you've been following Andrew and Mr. Bailey, the AG's comments about this case, this office, in terms of restructuring. What do you think needs to happen here?
I can't speak on that, given the ethical parameters of an individual who's involved in litigation. But I'm sure that my thoughts, as well as the thoughts of others, are going to become clear because I am fully cooperative with the Attorney General's efforts.
You sent a letter to Kim Gardner explaining your stepping down.
Yes, sir.
Can you walk us through that letter?
I don't have a...
And do you have a... You don't have to read it verbatim. What I'm asking is that, have you submitted it to her? Any response from her yet?
No response from her. I did email it to her, and then I vacated the office.
This morning, this afternoon?
About an hour ago.
An hour ago. Are you... Any other comments?
Well, you asked me to walk through the letter. Basically, my letter went through all of the structural issues and the support issues that are present inside the office, and it closes with a criticism, if you will, about the way that the last month since the Daniel Riley accident happened. I think that it's been not handled in a way that reflects leadership with integrity.
I want to circle back to what you said, quitting your dream job. When did you actually mentally make that decision? And today is Friday. When did you make the decision? And how tough was it coming to work today, knowing, hey, look, I'm about to quit my dream job?
I didn't think I was going to do it today. I thought I had a little bit more time. I thought I actually even may have been trying a murder case on Monday. However, it just became clear that I could not stay here any longer, and it had been a decision that had been kind of festering in my mind for some time, actually. Even I would put it as back as starting in late July of last year. Obviously, at that time, Daniel Riley was not a name that anybody knew, but the way that I was forced to nolly and reindict in between two different trial cases made me start to see just how untenable the workload was becoming, in my opinion. And so I actually did apply and get an offer from a prestigious law firm that I ultimately rejected in order to stay at the circuit attorney's office. Since then, my frustration has just continued to grow and grow and grow, and I think I would say when the Daniel Riley accident happened and I saw the way that the narrative was being handled, which was to say inaccurately, I couldn't stay anymore, and it was just going to be a matter of time. It is also worth mentioning that my husband is moving to Chicago for his career as well. We're both from there. All of our people and all of our families are there. So it was going to be a matter of time either way.
You're going back home?
Yeah, I am going back home.